Mistress Claressa Shields is taking more shots at Remy Ma using the same lyrics that she claims that she has no clue any Remy songs, y'all. Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. So, today we are talking Claressa Shields, surprise, surprise, aka Pap's Mistress, aka Pap's Entanglement, aka Pap's Pick Me, aka Pap's Side Chick, or as Chris Cyborg would say, it is duck hunting season. Today's fight day, as y'all know, tonight is Claressa's Nothing Burger fight against K. Scott as far as I'm concerned. However, it appears Remy Ma is the center of Claressa Shields' life. Remy Ma is all over Claressa's mood board as far as I'm concerned. And Remy Ma warned y'all, you and Pap, anytime y'all talk about me, I'm coming. Anytime. So once again, Claressa wants, she thinks that it's time to continue this nonsense, but then what she does is she gets on these interviews or she gets on these live streams and she'll be like, well, his ex said this, his ex did that, da-da-da-da-da. You just said on Cam Newton that there was no beef and that there was no issues, and I immediately knew that was a lie. That was an absolute lie. You have a beef that you cannot shake, Remy Ma, and Pap refuses to get rid of her. So I don't care if it's you or Pap's kids that are throwing shade at Remy Ma. The bottom line is, Pap still don't got that divorce finalized. Because a real man, if he was such this big entrepreneur, if Pap was such this mover and shaker, he would walk away with nothing. Just like he came into the marriage. Walk away with nothing. And leave it be and live happily ever after with you, Claressa, but he does not want to do that. Just like he does not want to cover up that Remy Ma tattoo, just like he does not want to delete those Instagrammy posts or archive them of his wife. So what has happened now, right? So about 17 hours ago or so, sometime yesterday after the weigh-in, Claressa Shields did this post, and it had this caption. So we're going to get into this as well as what she posted in the Instagrammies. So it has Claressa's song playing that nobody's going to listen to. It's on mute. So ultimately, though, on each of the slide deck of the photos, there's a different caption that is associated with it, right? So ultimately, if you go to the third caption of her post on the Instagrammies, it says, me and my man heart emojis with tear in the eye emoji, face emoji, clock it emoji. Then it says, so D. So D with an eggplant emoji. Got bum witches with a B mad with 2 laughing emojis. Like, aha, like how Remy Ma does her, right? And I don't think this is the flex that you think it is, Claressa. I don't think it is. And then also on another slide of the slide deck, Claressa has a caption, 304s on her DICK. I say, aha, with 3 laughing emojis. Yeah. And as you know, in both Remy Ma's diss track, she says that y'all on her DICK. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing, Claressa? And then it doesn't stop there, you guys. Because then Claressa wanted to highlight a comment that was disrespectful to Remy in the Instagrammy stories. And we're going to get into that as well. So I don't know who this is that is trying to hype up Claressa Shields' song. But basically the messy comment said, sounds good and way better than the old washed up cheating rapper with the build-a-body 3 fire emojis. Great job, Claressa, with 2 clapping emojis. So not only did Claressa heart that comment, but also she reposted in her Instagrammies the comment, because I believe now you can select comments in your Instagrammies and post it to your story, right? And I just think Claressa, once again, continues to not read the room. Hitting Remy back with her own lyrics and her alleged own experience with her actual husband that you are currently sleeping with, that it has been multiple years now that you've refused to divorce, isn't the flex that you think it is. Oh, and speaking of 2+ years, look what Claressa wrote before we continue to get into this. So on the Instagrammies in Claressa Shields' stories, she highlighted that particular portion of the slide deck in her post in which she is quoting Remy Ma's lyrics about So So D, and has 3 laughing emojis and 2+ years later, you guys. Here's the thing, Claressa. It's not the flex that you think it is, right? Because you allegedly were with Tony Rich whenever you and Pap started being entangled. And then whenever you want to publicly claim when you and Pap's public anniversary is, and not the real private one that was probably several months ago, you were entangled at this point with Maserati Bud. Because y'all met in August and y'all spent every holiday together, including Christmas of 2024. So this isn't the flex that you think it is either, because you were also playing around with multiple men. You know what I mean? Like it's really interesting how the timeline never makes sense. And this is not something that y'all need to be celebrating, considering that you're basically knowingly, at least for 6 months prior to Remy Ma exposing you, knowingly just holding on to phone conversations where y'all fall asleep on and being hidden in, different vehicles because you can't be seen together out in public, like what happens when you have a mistress, that you are counting all that time as an anniversary. All that time that you guys were not public. No. And it feels like, to me, Claressa wants to be in this for the long haul, and potentially even longer than Pap and Remy, which is insane because we still don't have a divorce decree. This man is still not legally single, but Claressa thinks that she has a prize. She thinks that Pap is worthy of all of this and deserves all of this, and Claressa can't see that even at the weigh-in yesterday, Pap was playing in her face. And he also played in her face at the presser, because I noticed as soon as people were done taking pictures at the press conference, who was the first to get out of the frame? Who was the first to get out of the frame of the videographers and photographers and all the things? It was Pap. It was Pap quickly getting out of the way. And in every single situation. And Claressa doesn't care, though, because she thinks she's won as long as Pap is physically around her. And she doesn't realize that just because he's physically around you doesn't mean he's not mentally elsewhere. Doesn't mean that, y'all's obsession with Remy has consumed why y'all are together. If Remy actually wanted Pap back, you would be a non-factor, Claressa. Pap would be on the first flight to New York, even today, the day of your fight. If Remy said, I want you back, I want us to work on this marriage. It is the fact that Remy is done that has y'all so bitter, and Remy putting y'all on blast that has y'all so bitter that now y'all are going to stay together for as long as possible out of spite. Everyone keeps thinking, that there's an exit plan, an exit strategy in place for Pap, but I don't know if I'm seeing it. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, you would have to milk everything out of Claressa, and her career would have to effectively be over to the point that there is literally no money coming in, no potential or future fights coming in to then make the escape. But you're talking about somebody who is a gambler, who is not good with money, allegedly has to ask Claressa to borrow money, and relies on Claressa allegedly paying for everything. So I don't see Pap going anywhere until the money runs dry, until the Claressa Shields bank runs dry. And as long as there is still some type of money coming, even if it's not the same money as before, even if it's funny money, even if it's monopoly money, as long as it is something that Pap can manipulate or utilize, or if there's any clout or opportunities associated with it, he's going to do it. But I peeped that whoever leaked the cease and desist, Pap is not happy that he got drugged up and through here, up inside down and inside out. He didn't like that because Remy already told us. She already told us enough, which was Pap is obsessed with his image. And he thought his image was fine by being calculated and still staying at Remy Ma's mansion, even after publicly Remy and Easy the Black Captain got exposed, even though privately Pap knew that Remy Ma was done with him and done with his family. That if he can continue to victimize himself as a long-suffering husband, even though he's on Remy's couch texting and contacting other women besides you, Claressa, that he can, potentially utilize that to his benefit. But once Remy exposed Pap and Claressa had been talking all this time, had been texting all this time, and fall asleep on the phone together, and then when Remy asked what was up on the phone, Claressa quickly hung up. So you can do all this rah, 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 Claressa on the internet, but when you heard Remy Ma's voice on the phone, you were the one to click over. You were the one that didn't keep the same energy. You were the one that didn't stay on the line and have a conversation with Pap's wife. And so fast forward to, like I said, the leaking of the cease and desist by Hollywood Unlocked, right? That somebody provided them those documents, right? Y'all thought, you and Claressa, because Claressa liked the post, y'all thought that y'all did something smart. Y'all thought that people were going to be stupid enough and not realize that this was sent back in April. Y'all wanted to present this as something new to try to stop Remy's motion, to try to stop Remy's bag, and that it was something that was actively in progress. And you even have people going as far as to saying, oh, this is considered a lawsuit. No. That's not what a cease and desist is, right? But because it led to y'all getting drugged and people having no smoke for Remy Ma, because they're like, Remy's the wife. Remy, you know what I'm saying, ultimately can do whatever she wants, and she technically never said anyone's names. And you inserting a child into this, a child that you barely see these days, is diabolical. And how can you utilize the child but not utilize these digs and these jabs from your mistress, Claressa Shields, and not hold Claressa Shields accountable? And not tell Claressa Shields that she's effing up the divorce proceedings for you. Like, you got to make this make sense. But because Pap was so upset of that backlash, he was like, oh, it's a smear campaign. We got to stop the Papoose smear campaign. But you're fine when it's Remy getting dragged or if it's Claressa getting dragged. No. You're getting dragged double time now. Because now people realize you played in Remy's face. And now you're playing in Claressa's face. And you expect people to hype you up and hype up your lies and your manipulation and your performative tactics? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're going to get all this smoke because you lied and cheated on your wife first. But you publicly allowed her to get drugged by the internet as if you were loyal the whole marriage. No. And then you follow it up by still being disloyal in the marriage. Just like when y'all got together, just like when Remy was in prison, and just like when Remy was out of prison, and there was that rumor about a love child. Only for you, fast forward to now, to still out here with another woman that is not your wife. but you won't let your wife go because you're broke pap. Make it make sense? So that is it for this video. I need y'all to do me the biggest favor, and that is to hype the video. Hype the video, please. Hype the video like you never hyped a video before in your life. There's that. That is it. That is all. Es todos es final. Es finito. Es the end the road. Es the end the line for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post the content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.